welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike.
And I'm Winnie.
And today, Winnie, we are going on a 3-day journey to the future.
The future? Are we going in a time machine?
Well, sort of. Once we get there, you might feel like you're in a time machine.
Where are you taking us?
Well, I'm taking you to the future, like I just said. It's a better future, hopefully, and it is now. We could say the future is now, or at least it will be now for a few months, and then it will go away. What we're talking about is the big World Expo that is going on this summer, very close to us here in Taiwan.
Ooh.
So we can go. This is a great opportunity.
Okay, well, if you say it's close, do you mean it's in Kaohsiung?
Not that close. You'll need an airplane. Yep.
I'm intrigued.
But only 3 or 4 hours to get there. And once you get there, the beef is very good.
Well, you must be talking about Japan.
I'm talking about Japan. We're going to the city of Osaka, where they are going to have Expo 2025. Isn't that exciting?
That is very exciting.
It's been a while since they had an expo.
Yeah, I think there were some things that were preventing it from happening.
Yeah, they can be very expensive.
They can be.
And often countries want the Olympics or they want the World Cup, so the Expo maybe not as cool. But I would like to go to this. I have actually been to an Expo before, a long time ago when I was a little kid, but I remember it. And when I said we're going to the future, I remember so clearly walking around Expo 86 in Vancouver, Canada, and feeling like I was in a futuristic science fiction city.
Well, it
was so cool.
I've never been to one, but now you're getting me really excited. So why don't we go on this adventure together, which is Toward a Better Future, Expo 2025, Part 1.
I'm there.
Are you ready for Expo 2025? The World Expo runs for 184 days from April 13th to October 13th this year. The city to host this major international event is Osaka, Japan. Over 150 nations gather at Expo 2025.
All right, so yes, we are going toward a better future, Expo 2025. So you can't say you don't know when is the Expo 2025. It's in the name, so write it down. But we should be even more careful with telling people when it begins and when it ends. So let's do that. It begins our article. Are you ready for Expo 2025? The World Expo runs for 184 days from April 13th to October 13th this year. Now you know.
Way longer than the Olympics.
Much longer,
Yeah.
so much easier to go to.
No excuses.
Right.
Continuing on, the city to host this major international event is Osaka, Japan. As you mentioned, Osaka, Japan, and this is a really good excuse for someone to go to Japan. Okay, I personally have never been. I've been to Tokyo.
Been to Japan?
I went for a layover.
Oh, you gotta go. It's great.
Well, hopefully this will get me to go soon. So, okay, we have this word host. That is our verb. And it could be a person or a place that entertains other people, or in this case, provides a space and tools for an event, i.e. this expo. For example, last year, 2024, Paris hosted the Olympics.
That's exactly right. So we could have a city or a country hosting something, or in a much, much smaller way, if you invite friends over to your house to watch a movie or eat dinner or have a little party, you are hosting that party. And the cool thing is, it's also the noun. You are the host.
Hey.
if you are hosting.
Look at a
party.
couple of
Come
hosts
on
right
in.
here.
Come on in. Would you like a drink?
We're the hosts of this
you want
show.
A snack? Go sit over there.
Yeah.
I'll come and talk to you in a moment. I'm hosting a wonderful party. And Osaka has a big job here this in 2025 because they will be hosting not only all the visitors to the Expo, but all the countries that will take part, that will join in this Expo. And it's a lot of countries. Over 150 nations gather at Expo 2025.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is a lot. I think the UN counts around 194 nations. So this is 150. That's
almost all of them.
Almost all of them. Notice how I use the word country and nation there in kind of the same way. Here in the article, we have the word nation, but it's sort of like a country. A nation or a country will have its own borders. It will have its own government and leaders. It will have its own flag. It might have its own money. And its people probably speak a common language or something like that. The world is covered in countries or nations very, very small, like Vatican City or Andorra or Singapore, to very, very large, like America, Canada, or Russia, or India or China as well. So that is what a nation is. It is a country. So they'll basically have a lot of different nations there in the same way that the Olympics has a lot of different nations taking part.
This is already piquing my interest because I love it when nations come together.
Nice.
So I love the Olympics.
Right.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
So I think this is really right up my alley. This is something that will interest me because we see 150 nations gather together. And of course, by the word gather, we mean come together.
Aww.
Right? Isn't it very nice?
It's nice.
To see all these nations come together.
It's nice when good things
Yes,
gather.
yes.
Not always, though.
Right.
No.
But you also might see the country you're from at this expo. I mean, with 150 nations, I would hope you see it.
It would be a moment of great pride in your nation or national pride. Yes, to gather is to come together. You might gather with your friends at a place when you're meeting downtown to see a movie or something like that. If you're packing for a trip, we could use the word gathering, right? Packing is just gathering all the stuff you need for your trip and putting it in a bag. So generally when things gather, it's good. But, you know, if I was swimming in the ocean and I saw a lot of sharks gathering, that would not be good.
I wouldn't, no.
It's good when people and nations gather, usually, but not always good when sharks and lions gather. Because, you know, they're in a big group and they have come together to do something together, maybe to eat me. All right, let's take a quick break and then we will be back and we'll be going more into, we'll just be discovering more about what we can see at the Osaka Expo 2025.
They bring new ideas and technology to light. Their goal is to solve the world's problems such as hunger, climate change, and clean energy. The theme of Expo 2025 is Designing Future Society for Our Lives. It's about improving the lives of people and the planet.
All right, so the World Expo Osaka 2025 will be starting in April. 150 nations or countries will be gathering or coming together to show off their country and also look at things of the future, technology, and the way machines and humans will be doing things together in the future. Some things that we know about, and I'm sure you'll be learning about a lot of things that you had no idea, new discoveries, both for you and for science. So let's get back to our article and we'll find out what exactly we will be able to see and what exactly all these nations will be doing as they come together at the Expo.
Good, yes. Okay, so continuing on, they bring new ideas and technology to light, just like you were saying.
Okay.
This is really a place for all of these countries to kind of showcase, hey, look what I've got. This is something to look forward to, and it really gives you kind of a look into what's possible for the future.
Exactly right. Yeah, it's kind of like a temporary museum of the future. So every time they have an expo, it's different countries, and of course, The technology will always change because scientists and engineers are always bringing new things to light. When you bring something to light, you kind of bring it up and get people to pay attention to it. You learn more about it. When something is brought to light, you might become more educated and smarter and knowledgeable. Or if you know about it and you think other people should because it's important, then you want to bring this to light. Journalists and reporters, they often bring news stories, interesting stories to light, things that we didn't know were happening, problems in the country or society that we weren't aware of. And by talking about them, writing about them, or making videos about them, they bring them to light, they bring attention to these things. And the world, you know, we need a lot of help in a lot of different ways. So these countries have a very good goal. As it says, their goal, both the Expo and the countries all coming together, their goal is to solve the world's problems, such as hunger, climate change, and clean energy. And I could go on.
Yes, very good. And you were talking about shedding a light. You can literally imagine someone shining a bright light so that you can see it better. Just like there are places in the world where we might not know what's going on.
Well, there's a lot of things going on we don't know about.
Yeah, and so expos are great to show you what you're kind of missing. So we have this term such as, and plain and simple, it really is just used to list examples for your point. So in this case, we were talking about clean energy, things like that. So we are listing all of these examples. So we used such as.
Exactly. Like, for example, you know, just giving you a few ideas in this bigger topic. And yes, one of these examples was hunger. One of the big problems facing the world and the people in it is hunger. Hunger is related to not having enough food. If you skipped breakfast or lunch, you will feel hungry. Okay, that will be the adjective form, and that's usually what we would use. We don't use the word hunger as much as we use the word hungry. I'm hungry, I need to get a snack. But if we're talking about people being hungry in large numbers, that's when we will use the word hunger much more often, talking about this as a problem, as something that needs to be fixed, as something that is causing a lot of unhappiness, pain, and even death in parts of the world. When climate change is, you know, changing how things grow, or even if things grow, if it's too hot and there's no rain, there will be a lot of hunger in areas. That means a lot of hungry people in a very, very serious kind of way.
And this is not a new problem. Throughout human history, there have been many times where people have suffered from hunger, and therefore a lot of people have died. So for the Expo to really bring in this problem and try and shed a light on it, you know, we can kind of try and figure out this problem so that eventually, hopefully, no one will have to suffer through hunger in the future. Continuing on, the theme of Expo 2025 is designing future society for our lives.
Interesting. So making technology and people work together in the best way possible. It's about improving the lives of people and the planet.
I like it.
It says, and I think that is a great way of wrapping it up and also having a good goal for the future. Make our lives better as people and also protect the planet, because without the planet, we're not
no
here.
more us.
And there's no more expos then too. All right, guys, that's all the time we have today, but we're going to be coming back with more about this Expo and learning a lot more cool stuff that I'm sure will get you thinking even more seriously about going to visit. I know I am.
I am too. See you in part 2.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Are you ready for Expo 2025? The World Expo runs for 184 days from April 13th to October 13th this year. The city to host this major international event is Osaka, Japan. Over 150 nations gather at Expo 2025. They bring new ideas and technology to light. Their goal is to solve the world's problems such as hunger, climate change, and clean energy. The theme of Expo 2025 is Designing Future Society for Our Lives. It's about improving the lives of people and the planet.
Hello, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 host 动词主办。The school will host a basketball match this weekend. 学校将在这个周末主办一场篮球比赛。Match 指的是比赛、竞赛。下一个单字 nation 名词国家。Each nation has its own culture and traditions. 每个国家都有自己的文化和传统。下一个单字 gather 动词聚集、集合。People gathered in the park to watch the concert. 人们在公园聚集观看演唱会。最后一个单字 hunger 名词饥饿。Hunger is a problem in many parts of the world. 饥饿是世界上许多地区的问题。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 something runs for 加时间，某活动为期一段时间。Run 在这里指的是持续进行、运行的意思。我们来看看这个例句。The concert runs for 2 hours. 这场音乐会持续2小时。下一个文法 bring something to light 向人展示、揭示某事物，也可以写成 bring to light something。我们来看看这个例句。The news brought the problem to light. 这则新闻揭示了这个问题。最后一个文法 such as 例如像是，用来列举事项，后面必须接名词。我们来看看这个例句。I enjoy outdoor activities, such as hiking and biking. 我喜欢户外活动，例如徒步旅行和骑脚踏车。Outdoor 指的就是户外的。以上就是这一课的重点单字跟文法，我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Hey, did you hear about the disagreement between Lisa and John today?
Oh, yeah. I heard it was pretty intense.
Yeah, I'm thinking about bringing it up in the meeting later just to see what happens.
You really like stirring the pot, don't you?
Pot? What pot? I'm not cooking anything.
No, it's just an expression. It just means to provoke controversy by causing drama.
Well, someone has to keep things interesting around here. I'm gonna see what happens. I think it's gonna be really fun. Hi everyone, today's phrase is stir the pot.
That's right. Stir the pot doesn't just mean to mix ingredients in a pot while cooking. It's also an idiom.
As an idiom, stir the pot means to create drama or trouble by mentioning issues that might agitate others.
Right. It describes someone who likes to bring up sensitive topics or provoke conflicts, often just for the fun of it.
For example, if someone knows two coworkers don't get along and intentionally brings up a topic that will make them argue, they're stirring the pot.
You might hear it used like this. She likes to stir the pot by making controversial comments during meetings.
Or he's always stirring the pot with his strong opinions on social media.
Remember, stirring the pot is usually not a positive thing. Maintaining peace is much better than creating unnecessary chaos.
Right. Let's focus on spreading positive vibes instead.
That's all for today.
See you next time. Bye.
Peace.